link pipe from the big turbo to the little turbo. Even got the shift light working.
We'll try them on quickly. Turbo noises. Right, hello, once again, working on the Fiesta. I've got to try and sort out bits on the heater box and some wiring issues, as always. Putting the dashboard back in, and I want to put some coolant in it, and hopefully take it around the block. Cut to the point where I'm messing about with my heater box. Right, so with the heater, I've got the little race heater that goes in behind the dash, and I've already made a little funnel bit that goes from the bulkhead down to the blower motor, and I'm trying to get the air back up to the screen because I want to be able to demist the screen. The problem when I took the heater out originally is every time I drive it in the rain I've got a misted up screen and I need to obviously be able to clear it. So I started making an aluminium shroud that's going to throw the air back up onto the windscreen, but that's kind of in the way of the curvature of the dashboard, and so I've hacked the top off. I've also got a gauge to clear. I'm going to mount this onto the top of the heater and then use this piece out of router cut perspex to create like a little funnel that I can slip in through the top and hopefully locate in this little aperture here. And then I've done some little infill pieces that are hopefully going to divert some of the airflow off to the left and off to the right, and hopefully that one vent will be enough to demist the window. If it's not, then I've got some extra pipes that come out the bottom of the heater that are currently blanked off, and I can direct those up to the original slot vents that are in front of me and in front of the passenger side. Just going to glue this up, offer it up in the car, and if it all looks like it's going to work, then I can start putting the dashboard back in, finish off wiring all the gauges, and kind of this bit is hopefully put to bed. Just gonna PK syringe glue this together. I need to heat fold this where I've V carved it. I've got to heat fold that so it'll go around this little zigzaggy bit. So we just use this syringe glue, PK I think it's called, and it melts the perspex together for a strong bond. Drip it everywhere. It's like capillary, just runs down the joint. Just got to heat bend this up on the line bender. So then these bits just slot in the little rebates and glue them in. It kind of resembles the boom tube exhaust tailpipe that I've made. Completely unintentional, but I'll belt sand this to the right height, and that's just going to slot in this way around into the heater thing. I'll cut this back a bit, and that should hopefully blow some air up onto my windscreen. Got this little trim piece around the top, and I can always screw that onto the dash if needs be. Come out alright. Very nice. Right, so another little project I've been working on, which again is completely irrelevant to getting the car back on the road. Round headlight, cold air feed, which I'll use on track days and drag racing, and that obviously is the disc. I had the trumpet from the Sierra Turbo, just TIG welded that onto a little disc, and then that goes into the XR2 headlights around with some M3 countersunk screws. And then for the other headlight, I've got another front cover for the headlight. I've cut just a flat blanking disc, and then I've got one of the vinyl guys to cut me out this bad boy, kind of like a nod to the old KC daylighter spotlight covers it used to get. Been doing all of the vacuum lines that come off the little turbo. I put the little union in the housing, run that round there. For now, we're just going to run it on the wastegate spring, and this is just a set, I think, to about 20 psi when we pressurised it up to open, and see where that goes. I did get a boost control solenoid which I will put into the mix at a later date. I got this off of Ignition Advantages. He also supplied the map sensor, so that's all again. Got the vac lines to it. I've got vac lines from the link pipe from the big turbo to the little turbo, and that's going to go down to the inside the car to the one boost gauge, and then I've got another vac line off the inlet manifold that's going to go to another boost gauge, so that'll give me an idea on what pressure's coming out of the high pressure turbo and then what pressure the big turbo's feeding into the high pressure turbo is the plan. I've also got to try and mount the breather tank and finish off the breather lines. Obviously it's a bit of a challenge to get down to the block breather, but where there's a will there's a way. I've done all of the throttle cable, so now we've got full throttle, hopefully. That's all on the pedal. Everything else is wired up. It's got oil in it. It hasn't got coolant yet, but I can put that in. And then I think on this video we've got to be taking this around the block at some point because it's pretty much there. I'll grab the other seat out the loft so I can mount that for Zach when he comes over with the laptop. Need to throw the handbrake back in, secure down the fire extinguisher, which again is another job for another day. I need to run all the hard lines for the fire extinguisher system. The other thing is just tidying up the boot. I still need to run power to the charge cooler pump and the fans off the relay. I've got a temperature controller to run the fans so that they'll only kick in when the charge temperature reaches a certain point, just so that the fans aren't always running. Yeah, the charge cooler's all in. You just about see it under the dashboard. That's all plumbed up. I've just got to finish off throwing all the cables and switch gear and gauges back in the dashboard. I need to sort out the heater vent so that we've got some form of ducting that goes up onto the window. I've been playing around with that for a few days now. And I do need to put the rubber beading between the arches and mount the arches properly. And finish off putting the little recesses in the bonnet, but I do want to give this a quick sort of wet sand and a bit of a polish because it's got a couple of little bibbly bobbly bits, but I'm not a painter, so that's my excuse. And that's pretty much it. I say once the fans and stuff are all in there, there's water in there, I think we're pretty much good to go. Have a go karting, crazy. So as you've just seen, these are the heater vent bits that I've made up. So I'm just going to offer these up in the car and see. I'm going to have to chop these down, I know, and run them on the belt sander to get the ends all level. But pretty pleased with how that come out. Right, back working on the car in the garage, and I had some issues. I was going to try and drive around the block last weekend, but once again the wiring caused me no end of grief, and I spent hours at the weekend fiddling around with stuff, changing relays. I've ordered new relays, and Zach come over, spent probably another 2 hours with a probe trying to like get the fuel pumps. Basically you could crank it and the fuel pumps would run for a second and then they cut out, and I could only get it to work with one fuel pump relay in it, and I've got the Omex feeding a switched negative to two relays that then go off to the boot to run the 2 foot pumps. One's a lift pump and one's the injection pump. Long story short, we managed to find the issue was a old Fiesta dashboard switch, which I put in between the Omex and the relays, and it was obviously letting just the right amount of current through to kind of initially prime the pump, but if you had 2 pumps running off it, it obviously tripped it. So like the continuity wasn't there. So I've pulled the switch apart, cleaned it up, and now it all seems to work. So I'm just now going through all the other little switches because I quite like the look of these switches, even though they're old and crappy. Pulling them apart, cleaning them up, and I used to run a piece of masking tape with whatever written on it, and this has obviously been on there so long it's almost worn out. So now I'm going through and I've made these little labels. I'm gonna pull them apart, clean them up, put a new little label in there. I'm gonna see if there's a tiny, these are crazy little switches. If I open it up, I'll show you. They're a proper like little mechanical rocker switch in there. They've got a little bulb. Hang on. So here, they're like a proper little rocker switch that obviously this flicks over and clicks over the copper connector. It's got a little filament bulb in it, and the neat little thing is it's got this little sprung slider that drops down when you press the button. It actually changes the colour of the little indicator panel up here, which is pretty neat. I'll see if I can get that all wired up as well with the dash lights. So yeah, clean this up, put it all back together, and then I'll stick this little sticker on, and then I should have a switch that should hopefully not cause me more problems. That's a bit better. Right, just popped down to Powers. Zach's very kindly banged some fresh tyres on the daily, and he's also working on the Escort, as you've seen in the other videos. He's pretty much finished off the inlet manifold, sorted out a new radiator. Now he's just doing some of the new water pipes to join up the engine to the radiator. It's looking pretty fresh.
Actually got it right that time.
Have a look. Are you going to P-clip it down here?
It's B-clipped up there. I've never had a problem with it being like that, to be fair.
I think once that's clamped down there, it's not going to go into the belts, is it? He says. Oh, is that for you filling it?
Yeah.
It's massively overspec for a beige Escort estate.
Free owner, granddad spec.
Proper granddad spec. Yeah, it's going to be good fun when this is back out. Right, back on it. I didn't film this, but I've just installed my homemade wide angle rear view mirror bracket. So that bolts up. I've put a couple of rib nuts up into the piece that goes across the roof, and then I've got this wide angle mirror, and I've also put a slot in it on this side so I can actually pull it round and get a better angle on the back of the car. So that's pretty neat. And I've also integrated this bent piece here for my snap-off steering wheel. Bit of heat shrink around that to protect the steering wheel, should do the job. Pretty pleased with how that came out. Hopefully, can't quite remember where the bar goes for the roll cage, but I've got a feeling it might be probably in the way of that hook, so I might end up having to cut that off, annoyingly, but hey. It was pretty neat though. I stayed up late last night. I've wired up, or bodged the wiring behind the clocks. I think that's all right. I need to fire the engine up, see if the oil and the battery light go out. And I've done all the wiring for the gauges up here. I'm just finishing off the little backlight bulb wiring that's coming off the backlight that would have been on the original dashboard cluster. I've wired up the shift light. Do need to splice in the oil warning light, but again I'll check that I've actually got it the right way around on the back of this before I do. Done the 2 boost pipes down into the vac hoses that come through from the engine bay. So hopefully when I key this on the ignition, it should hopefully work. And I've also, you can see my little switch labels that I put on. I've obviously got 3 spare switches for stuff that I could add later for other goodies. Hopefully these gauges will work. Awesome. Looks like the Millennium Falcon in here. I like it. Even got the shift light working. Indicators. Full beam. Yeah, wet. Time for some coolant. Getting close now. Okay, I just want to quickly check to see if my oil and battery lights turn out and I've wired them properly. Well, they look like they work. It's quite smoky in here. So there's a bit of peel these off. The old FPU sticker, and not forgetting bird cup. So that's the seats and harnesses all bolted in. Yeah, the handbrake's in now. I'm not going to bother with the front half of the cage and the door bars just in case I've got to take the dashboard out. Got the trusty fire extinguisher down there just in case. Got the brace bar back in the boot. Battery's all on. Yeah, straps are all bolted down. Mate John's going to pop down, drop off some alley cats for, I don't know, I'm sort of reminiscing about when I used to run alley cats on this, and they're 8x13s, and I wanted to get some race wheels so I can put slicks on it for drag racing or track tyres or something. Zach rightly pointed out they probably won't fit over my cosy calipers, so I might have done a bit of a boo-boo. I can catch up with him, and then he can hopefully give us a hand. I should be in a point in the next hour or so where I can take it around the block. I'm pretty hot, I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm looking forward to it. Should be fun. Right, just going to pull it out of the garage. I'll see if it can actually move under its own steam. Should be interesting. Does anyone know where reverse is on an SD170 gearbox? Because I sure as hell don't. Gear shift's still too close to the horn. I think the battery's charging. John's just turned up. How's it going?
Warm.
So where have you been?
Isle of Wight.
Dropping bits off and meeting up with mates.
Sort of.
I'm going to try and drive that around the block and stuff. Well, you got 8Js again.
Just give us a minute. I'm going to have to perform some magic here.
All right. They do look cool though.
I'm quite happy to take them back. Don't mind. Go back in the collection.
We'll try them on quickly, and then we'll see. I do miss them. They look wicked when I had it on the 13s before.
Yeah.
It would be good for like, I was just going to use them for like track tyres. You get some proper like sticky track slicks and put all 4 corners, have little 13s with big balloon tyres on. What are they, 8? Good on the COMPO motors as well. And it didn't miss a beat whilst you went to Isle of Wight? I think I am going to have to sort out the exhaust. See what's loose, what I haven't tightened up.
Once you've done the wheels, mate, that's the main thing.
I think I have. Give this a go. See shit out of that. There you go. Gotta get a hang of where reverse is.
6 then.
Doesn't want to idle.
I'll do the heat wrap.
Yeah, true. Or an oil return.
You can smell it going. It's heat wrap.
Wow, yeah. Well, it got hot. Stinks. Well, drove around the block. Anything leaking? It's pretty good. How long does it take for that to stop smoking?
It'll be quite a while yet. You need to get quite a bit more heat
Heat
through
into
it.
it, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely fucking loud. I don't think I'll be able to take it on any track days anytime soon. No. So, initial thoughts, I think it was still on the cold start. There's like a limit on Zach's map, so it's obviously not got up to temperature. And we were just running it up then, and John pointed out that there's gas coming out the wastegate. So I was like, oh, I hope I haven't missed out the fire ring, which took the piss out of Lawrence when he did that. But we just looked in the box for the fire ring, and I found all the springs. So I've got a feeling there's probably no springs in my wastegate. So I'm gonna have to let it cool down, crack the lid off and check, and then I need to work out what springs I should probably try first. But yeah, that's probably why it didn't actually ever come on boost when we took it around the block. What a dick. Alright, let's try these alley cats. I reckon they're gonna hang out like a flasher's dick. They hit the caliper. Ah, mate. Yeah, Zach was right.
It's a big no.
Oh, mate.
It's better for me to go back in the collection.
You sure? I feel bad.
I don't mind.
No? You not?
Might as well have 24 sets instead of 23.
And they do hang out, don't they? I'd have to put like 155.
Space savers.
Yeah. That's what you get for widening the suspension on your Fiesta. What's the actual gap down the back? Yeah, there's like 3 fingers down the back. Torque steer heaven. Oh man, that was a good day. It's proper like back to the old look that. Right, so it's definitely got the fire ring in it. However, it's definitely not got any springs in it. What a donut. Let's crack this open and we'll jam all the springs in it. Cock. How's it going?
Yeah, alright, man, you?
Yeah, not too bad. I just drove around the block with John.
Yeah, what's it like?
I think we hit your cold start limiter.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't, well, Long story short, I haven't put any springs in the wastegate, so it's not making any boost at any time.
No springs in it.
There's no springs in it, no. All the springs I got are in the box that the wastegate came in.
The
So,
wastegate's open like, all the time.
yeah, pretty much.
Can you hear it?
Penis.
That's the wastegate flopping about. So I remember you saying like you've got a theory of what I should try and run initially.
I think, yeah, try and put like 12, 15 PSI in it, I reckon, maybe like 15.
15. All right, I'll try and work out what colours to put in, and then we might take it for another spin around the block if I've got enough time.
Yeah, or maybe keep it safe for like 10.
10 psi spring, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a look online, see if I can find out which colour that would be, what combo.
Yeah, no worries, man. Yeah, send me a text, let me know you get on.
I will do. Catch you later. Take it easy.
Bye, man. Bye-bye.
If you can crush it down. It's pretty easy with a 10 psi. Wait till I grow some balls and we're throwing all of the springs in it. I just wanted to make some Choo Choo noises. Desperately wanted to. That's one of those things, because I don't know if this twin setup's going to ever work, but it would be good for it to just at least make some kind of chatter or a spool noise. Need to sort these harnesses out because they're just flopping off my shoulder. Good annoying. Right, so there you have it. It runs. I've driven it around the block. It has springs in the wastegate and it makes choo choo noises. There's obviously a couple of things I need to do. I'll probably let it get up to temperature so it doesn't hit the cold start rev limit that's on it. I still need to set up the fans and the pumps in the boot and put charge coolant in the charge cooler system. So then we can start obviously putting the boost controller in and ramping up the boost and yeah, live map it. One little concern I have from doing the drive around the block is I did notice a little bit of smoke coming out the exhaust. So again, whether or not I should be running a restrictor up here. There are journal bearings on both turbos, so I wouldn't have thought they need restrictors. I've always said the angle might not be ideal because we're close to 20 degrees on this, so I'm worried that maybe the oil's bleeding out through the seal. But again, I think I need to do some heat cycles, get it hot, run it up and see if yeah, we've got an issue with it chuffing blue oily smoke out the turbos. It might just be where this engine's been sat for literally like the last 5 years
Maybe the valve stem seals need doing, who knows. But yeah, that's my only other slight concern at the moment. But everything else looks good. Car looks jokes. It's making the right noises. Now all we've got to do is get it all set up. I'll hopefully want to get it over to Clark's Rolling Road, ignition advantages, so we can actually see exactly what it's doing, and hopefully tie the transition between the big turbo and the small turbo. Actually get it set up and get it on the road properly, MOT it. But yeah, as you can tell, I'm proper stoked, proper happy with it. It's been a long time coming. As you guys know, you've been obviously keeping up with the project and sticking with me. Big milestone, so hopefully we're moving in the right direction. As always, check out the merch, the shop's in the link below, and that's it pretty much for this video. Until next time, I'll catch up with you guys later. Take it easy.